Right. Now, how do you know that you're accessing a service over on a server? Again, you open up a client-side software. Now, what do servers do? It provides services. In other words, the server will accept and grant requests. Sometimes it can also deny requests. What does that mean? Sometimes you want to go to a certain website and then it says cannot, gateway time up or something, error something something, right? That means your request is being denied. How do you know then that you're making a request and it is being granted? That's fairly easy. You use your client-side software to open a website. You type something inside the address bar, right? Then you will get a website. What is that something you type? It is called a URL, Uniform Resource Locator, but we'll get to that later. Oh wow, that rhymes, right? So inside the website, you can actually click on link, link. The proper and full name for links would be hyperlink, right? Hyperlink. For example, if you go to YouTube, you can just click on one of those small windows and then the video will start playing. Once the video starts playing, that means your request has already been granted by the server, right? And so that is how you make a request. Now, what happens here is that actually inside the server we have lots of different resources, meaning to say that when or if someone creates a website, right, what they do is they have all the files that they want to use and have inside the website. So they put all of their files inside a server, right? And the files will be linked somewhere like this as well. But maybe we should do something like this. For example, this is the home page, right? And then from the home page you can visit other pages. From other pages you might have other links. Something like that. Right? Let's say this is how you manage. So it's pretty much similar to how you manage your file inside your computer. For example, you might have the main, for example, C, your hard disk drive. Inside C you might have other things. You might have folder for subjects or something. For example, folder for computing principles, intermediate English, study skills. And within these folders you might have other things. Within all of these folders you might have, for example, slides and tutorial and assignment and whatever, right? So it's the same thing. You arrange it like this. The difference is that instead of having this inside our own computer, website owners have these files inside a server and it is being accessed by other people outside. So they have to have a way of managing this, right? So what happens is that they can put their resources, for example, pictures, web pages, inside web pages. They can put all of these resources inside web pages, and a web page is actually something that has a lot of information, right? And it is being sent to you using hypertext transfer protocol, right? So you construct a web page using hypertext markup language, right? So this is something that you have inside a web page. So you have several pages. Let's say this is page 1, page 2, page 3. You have several pages, and we call this whole thing a website. Inside website, we will have hyperlinks to go to other pages, as well as to go to a different URL, to a different website. Now, this website will be hosted on a web server. and you access these files by way of using a client-side software, meaning your computer will communicate with the web server using client-side software to be able to access resources on a website, right, within a web server. Right? So resources will be in the form of different things. It can be, for example, in the case of your slide, you will have this thing called ASPX. I think the example is ASPX dot something something dot ASPX, right? ASPX is most likely a database kind of file, meaning you open some kind of a form which is inside one of these web pages, right? Maybe you can fill in your name or something, because like I said, it's some kind of a form. Okay. So what is the URL then? It is what we call a uniform resource locator, right? Meaning to say that in order for you to get to a certain resource on the World Wide Web, you have to type it accordingly. You have to say, for example, first you must have the protocol, right? Followed by the what we call the domain name, right? Followed by what we call path, followed by the resource dot extension, right? So this is how you go to a certain resource. You have to type in the uniform resource locator inside your address bar, right? So you get to a certain resource. So this is the same way that we manage files inside our folders inside our computer, right? So we do it like that, meaning to say that in our folder we just go C, for example, and then computing principles, and then assignment, and then assignment1.doc, for example, right? So you do it like that. It's somewhat similar. Now, hopefully you still remember that protocols are different for different services on the internet. For example, hypertext markup language, to be able to get files, which is web pages, to our computer, we use the client-side software to make requests, right? And the request will be granted by way of giving the web pages or resources to us, and it will use a hypertext transfer protocol, which is the first part of your uniform resource locator, right? So we'll talk even further about World Wide Web, about, for example, how you create websites and etc., and what you can do with it, right, later.